Hey guys, and welcome to Grounding Yoga for Times of Transition. My name is Taima At. I'll be your yoga instructor for today. That feels so good to say. So this video is actually serving a dual purpose. One, I'm submitting this video for my practicum to get my certification for a 200-hour yoga teacher certification. I've been doing yoga for 10 years and I'm so excited to finally be doing this. And also, if all goes well, I will be posting this on soultraining.com under yoga and then also on my Instagram. So there's been a lot of transitions going on. It's almost fall time. Kids are going back to school. Some people are getting out of that lazy summer haze and getting back to the grind, so to speak. And people are really feeling it with everything that has happened this year. This transition period comes around every single year since the dawn of time, but I think people are, in our world, much more tuned in this year than maybe they have been in the past. So I'm creating this series. We're doing this series to help us get grounded, even though there's so much stuff floating in the ether at the moment, so to speak. So regardless of what's changing on the outside, job, work, moving, kids, all that sort of stuff, you can still feel grounded and centered. So today's practice isn't going to be long. I'm focusing mostly on the lower three chakras, which will be your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus. Those are chakras that have to do with security and feeling safe and your centers of calm and really just feeling rooted in yourself. So you'll be hearing me say a lot of things like rooted and planted and talking a lot about alignment, spinal alignment. We're going to be focusing on all those things, but the intention today is just to feel grounded. So let's start at the top of the mat. We're going to do a warm-up, then go into the poses, and then kind of let it all go. So it's kind of a three-part series today, and let's get started at the top of the mat. So let's root our, one other thing, you may want to have a block or bolster or a blanket or something nearby for when we do cat-cow. We will be on our knees. Potentially, that's a modification. We may be on our knees today. Right at the top of the mat, we want to plant our feet firmly into the ground. Balls of the feet planted on the mat. Same thing with our heels. And we're going to take a giant inhale up and windmill our arms up. And exhale, float it down to the floor as if there's a hinge where your hips are and the top of your body just hangs. On an inhale, come up halfway, create a flat surface with your back. And on an exhale, gently let the air out and let it all hang. We're going to take our hands, plant them into the ground, step or hop your feet back into a plank. So step or hop your feet back into a plank, lower down to chaturanga, up to cobra, push up through up dog. And for those of you that would like a modification on this, once you step back, you're going to lower your knees. This would be a great time to grab your bolster or block. And you're just going to take a couple of cat-cows, navel to spine, and heart shining forward. We're not going to focus too much on this because this is just the warm-up for our practice, but I did want you all to be safe just in case you want to go through that cat-cow. So we are, some of us are either in cat-cow or you are in up dog right now. From here, curl your toes under and everybody is going to meet in downward facing dog. Let's pedal the knees out just a little bit. Right leg bends, left leg bends. I'm going to talk kind of fast on this because remember, this is just the warm-up before we start our grounding practice. So now you can step, walk, or I should say walk or hop to the top of your mat. For those of us that are hopping, bend the knees, think of your hips going over your hands, and you step up gently to the top of the mat. Once we are all there, we're going to inhale flat back again, or inhale halfway, and exhale, fold over. On the inhale, drop your hips first and bring your arms up. If you've done this before, this is called chair pose or Utkatasana. And inhale to rise and exhale your arms down. Let's do that 2 more times, a little bit faster because we're creating that heat for our warm-up. So inhale, arms go up. Exhale, down, hands down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or hop back to plank or take cat-cow. You exhale, down through cobra, up dog, deep inhale in. And exhale, curl the toes. Let's all meet in downward facing dog. Pedal the feet out just a little bit to get those hamstrings warmed up. And you're gonna step or hop to the top of the mat. I'll step this time for those of us that are stepping. And exhale, fold. On the inhale, we're gonna come through chair first. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit, sorry guys. We're gonna come through chair by lowering your bottom, so almost all the weight's in your heels. And we're gonna inhale up. And exhale your hands down. One more time. Deep inhale up, look up towards your hands. And exhale through the middle line, down, down, down. Release everything to the floor. Inhale for half lift. And exhale your hands down. On the inhale, step or jump back to plank. And exhale down through chaturanga, or you're doing your cat-cows at the moment. Inhale, look up. Exhale, curl the toes under and push back to down dog. And now that we're all warmed up, we're going to start our sequence. So from here, on an inhale, lift your right foot. And we're going to step our right leg through our hands and plant it right between our hands for this low lunge. Turn your back foot outward so you're on the razor edge or the inside edge of your back foot. And by squeezing your thigh muscles in, you're going to windmill your arms upward to warrior two. So this is our first official posture for the grounding practice. We're focusing on planting our feet into the ground. We're focused on squeezing our inner thighs so we protect this back knee by squeezing your quad as well as your inner thigh. On the front here, we're focused on a 90-degree angle with our leg, and our torso is in line with the hips. So instead of being front right over this knee, our torso is slightly spun outward and in line with the hips. This alignment is extremely important. And take a couple more breaths here. Really breathe into that practice, into your grounding practice. Zip up through the middle line, as we used to say in dance, and you'll feel that heat and the grounding sensation of your body being in this shape. So to release it, we're gonna add a little bit of water to this grounding practice by inhaling to peaceful warrior. Left arm comes down, right arm comes up, and if you're more flexible, stretch back. And exhale, knee to or elbow to knee, and your back arm comes the opposite way, and you're in this beautifully elongated side angle. Take that 2 more times. Peaceful warrior. Very good. I know you're doing a great job. I can't see you, but I know you're doing a great job. And we're gonna exhale over the leg. And one more time, inhale for another peaceful warrior. Still zipping up through the midline. Exhale, down to side angle. And we're gonna meet again in peaceful warriors. So from here, you may want to modify by putting your hands on your hips and then just standing up, or heel toeing your feet here and wait. Or you might want to take it one step further. From this warrior two, we're going to straighten the front leg, still protecting that knee. Hinge your hips forward as if you're trying to touch the front wall as far as you can, down, 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 to grab your big toe, or place your hand on your shin, your shin, your thigh, or the ground. I'm gonna go for it and grab my big toe and spin my heart towards the ceiling. So let's just take a couple of breaths here to check in with the body. The balls of our feet and our heels are still grounded, they're still rooted to the earth. You want to zip up in that midline once again by squeezing your thighs, by tightening your thighs. That also protects your lower back. You may feel a slight stretch in the side of your body here. And if you'd like to take it one step further, instead of having your arm straight up, you can take this arm behind you for a bind, and then continue your journey towards the ceiling, even though we're doing a grounding practice. One more deep breath in. And on the exhale, bend your right knee, allow your arms to come up. We're going through warrior two, extend your front leg, turn your toes in, and we're doing the same thing on the opposite side. So I know a lot of times in yoga, we'll do something on one side, go through chaturanga, through plank, and do it on the other side. But it also helps just to switch directions. So simple today, we're just gonna switch directions. So now facing the back of your mat, we're in warrior two. Remember that alignment. Squeeze your inner thighs to protect your back knee. Razor edge of your back foot really planted there. Same thing with the front foot, nice and planted. The ball and heel of your foot. Try to get your heart over your navel, over your pelvis. That'll give some really great alignment while you're zipping up in your thighs. And from here, we're gonna take peaceful warrior and create a little bit of water energy by taking a deep inhale in, dropping the back arm, front arm comes overhead, and exhale down to your knee. Create a beautiful side angle. On the inhale, come up through peaceful warrior again. And exhale one more time, down to side angle. And inhale, up through peaceful warrior. And we're gonna do the same posture of grabbing our front toe, or hands on the hips, heel toe it in, and wait for us here. So hinge forward, like you're trying to touch the far wall, drop down and grab your toe or shin or thigh, and lift your right arm up, spin your heart forward. Really feel that energy from your feet coming up through your root chakra on here, all the way up through your arm. You're creating this beautiful energy from the ground all the way up through your arm. If you'd like to go for a bind, go for it. Take a deep inhale in to create space, and exhale. Spin a little bit more if you can. Deep inhale to create space. A little bit of Ujjayi breath here, and exhale. Let it all settle down. Inhale to bring your arm back up for those of us that are in a bind. Exhale, bend your left leg, your left knee, and come back up through warrior two. Straighten your legs. Both feet are parallel. Both feet are facing the side of the mat. We're gonna heel toe, our feet in. This will be our last posture in this part of the series. Then we'll go into the next one. This is only a short 10, 15, 20-minute practice today. So from here, we're gonna actually, let's heel toe our feet out a little bit wider than hip width apart for wide-legged stance. And from here, we're gonna take both arms overhead, deep inhale in, and we're gonna exhale our hands behind the back and interlace the hands, left over right, right over left. Doesn't matter whichever is more comfortable to you. And we're going to drop forward with our chest. And just hang. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale and focus on your root to rise. I'm gonna come up just so I can talk to you a little bit more. If we were in an in-person class, I'd come around, adjust you, make sure that your body is nice and aligned. But for here, keep breathing, keep your forward fold and your wide-legged stance. Take about 2 more breaths. Really focus on the grounding of your feet as we have been doing, and that energy up through the midline. And then on the inhale, let's all come up to stand. And exhale the hands apart. On the inhale, arms come overhead. And we're gonna drop into a yogi squat. So before we drop into this yogi squat, for those that are comfortable with the yogi squat, it looks like an actual squat with wide legs, and our hands are gonna come between the legs. For those that would like a modification, we're just gonna modify by going on our hands and the tops of our feet. So let's go ahead and do it together and we'll walk through the modification. So inhale, arms up, hands come together, and exhale down, hands at heart center, and we'll meet together in a yogi squat. For those of you that need a modification, feel free to take your hands to the ground, bring your feet a little bit closer in, and just rest here. If you're flexible enough to lift your hands off of the mat, you can still bring your hands to heart center and push your knees out with your elbows. If this is too challenging for your balance at this point, that's okay. Just meet us here by planting your hands on the ground. You can also do this if you have a block or a bolster, and maybe you have some tension in your back and you can't quite get over. This is completely fine too. I do encourage putting your hands on the ground simply for our grounding practice. And for those of us that are in a yogi squat, take one more deep breath. And on the exhale, we're just gonna come down to the ground, however that's comfortable for you. If you're here, if you wanna walk it forward and get on all fours, but we wanna continue this grounding practice by coming down to the earth. This is the last bit of our practice. We'll be stretching out the back for the most part, but by being on the ground, we're remembering that the ground is supporting us. The ground does have our backs, no pun intended, and we are safe. So lay down on your mat, however you need to get there. If you would like some assistance getting down to your mat, take your hands, grab your knees, and slowly lower one vertebrae at a time all the way down to your mat. And we're just gonna take a moment, legs fully extended, arms out by the side, to feel the mat, to feel the ground, to feel the mat supporting us. On an inhale, play around with having your arms overhead. We've done a lot of grounding things, so it's nice to have some extension in the arms to counteract all that grounding that we did in our legs. And on an inhale, bend, let's bring the left leg up. Let's bring the left knee up, plant that left foot on the ground, and we are going to, bring our hands back down to a T. I got really comfortable there. We're gonna bring our hands out to a T and bring the knee, your left knee, over to your right. If you've ever been a runner or done sports, this is a very typical stretch. And while your left knee is over towards your right, you can look over your left shoulder, and that creates an extra little bit of stretch. On this, we're not pulling, we're not forcing, we're allowing gravity to do the work. Allow your body to be grounded by gravity. Take one more deep inhale. Really inhale into that lower back. And on exhale, straighten back up. Knee straightens out, or elongate your leg rather. Right foot comes up, and we'll take the same thing on the other side. You're gonna drop your right knee over to your left. Look over your right shoulder. Take a deep inhale in. And exhale. Feel the ground lifting up to meet you. You don't have to do any work. You're that supported right now. With each inhale and each exhale, the ground is lifting up to meet you. It's rising up to meet you. On an inhale, come back to neutral, come back to center. And we're going to let both of our legs be long, about a foot apart, a foot of space between your feet. Allow your hands to rest by your side. And we'll take a couple of deep breaths here and just come back to our intention of grounding. Feel free to close your eyes. In this time that we're in, moving into fall, school starting back up for some people, new transitions, big transitions for some people, moving, all these things that could bring on feelings of restlessness and transition. You are grounded. These things do not bother you. They excite you because you know that anytime you can come back to this center and be calm and feel secure. That's what a grounding practice is all about. So take a moment to allow that intention to set in, to feel calm, to feel supported. We'll take both hands, press them together at our heart. Thank yourself for this practice that you have decided to do to combat all the transitions. Or I shouldn't say to combat the transitions, but to be in flow with them and be as grounded and centered so you can use this transitional force for your good. And we bring those hands to our third eye. You honor yourself by showing up to the mat today. And we bow out in Namaste. If you're ready to come up, roll over to either side. You can roll over to your left or right. Take the top arm, push yourself up to a sitting posture. And feel free to continue your grounding through meditation, through a moment of silence, or by getting up, turning off this video, and continuing your day. I also want to thank my peer reviewer, whoever you may be. Oh, actually, we spoke already. I would like to thank my peer reviewer for checking out this video, for watching. I'm sure you have countless videos that you need to review for all of the people that are getting certified in yoga at the moment. So I just want to say thank you to you so much. And I hope you specifically have a great day. I know we'll be talking about feedback. And for everyone else that is watching this, love and light. Namaste.